Hello all, hello friends. Welcome back to the part 21 of this tutorial where we want to implement the suppliers. The suppliers in our previous tutorial, you remember when we were implementing medicine and under the medicine we had the medicine suppliers. So during that time, we used the ID. So we agreed that we are going to create a table called suppliers where we will insert the suppliers details. So from these two tables, we will try to join them together such that when we need the name of the supplier or any other details, we can easily retrieve. So ensure that your Laravel server is running and you click www when you go to the menu to our project, and then I want also to open and run database. This tutorial is going to be taking very short time because I had already implemented the full methods and I've already created the database table. So I will just need to explain to you step by step. So what is required from you is just to pause your video, and you can, by pausing, you can easily see the codes and you can type from your side to implement it fully. Okay, so this video is not going to take too much long before it ends. So as we are waiting this to load, I will also open my visual code editor. Sorry, I am repeating the same thing. So I need to open Visual Studio Code. Let me just close all this, which are coming. I don't need them. That is asking for the license. I'm using the free version of Laravel. So here you see that we had the medicine, and in the medicine, in your side, you will see that the supplier side, we are still retrieving ID. So the IDs are coming from the table. Let me see. The IDs are still coming from this table here, which is let me see, let me get that medicine. So this medicine, when you add the medicine, you see that the ID which we have here is 1 and 2. So during adding a medicine, the time you are adding a medicine like this, we have the supplier's name. So here we are going to also create a drop down which is directly selecting the supplier and inserting into the database, which is the table called medicine. So we are going to put a drop down to allow you to select the available suppliers. Okay, so what I've done to step by step show you that I have managed to build these suppliers, and we are inserting to the, it's the same step actually we used even by the time we were inserting the customers here. So it's just the same step, it's just repeating itself, but I will have to explain to you step by step what I've done. So here I've created the routes. We have the routes for the suppliers up here. Okay, so these are the routes, so you can stop, pause, and see what I'm doing. So this time around I've used different class methods. As you can see, create suppliers, insert suppliers, edit suppliers, update suppliers, and delete suppliers. And I've also created the controller called suppliers. To create a controller, the method that we used is PHP artisan make controller, PHP artisan, just a minute. Okay, PHP artisan make controller, then you call it suppliers controller, like that, and then you hit enter. In my case, I had already created that. You will see that it a warning, or rather I read an error which is telling controller already exists. and then you create PHP artisan make model, okay, model which is called suppliers model. So I already created this suppliers model here, and I created also created the suppliers controller here. Okay, so this one model is also existing. So after creating the model, the suppliers, so in the suppliers model, ensure that you put all this. You have to import this, okay, and also, yeah, you have to import that. This one we can remove because it is not used. After importing that, you come to put this class, and then ensure that you put this use as factory, then protected table supplier. So I've created a table called suppliers here. You can see this table here, okay, this table called suppliers with all these fields, table fields, okay. So ensure that you have all this. We have ID, which is the primary ID. So I put that auto increment and the primary ID. Then we have name, we have phone, email, phone, address is deleted, created that, updated that. Ensure that you follow all the steps that we did in while creating other tables. For this one, I placed the varchar 255 and then it is null. So I checked null, email also null, phone null, address null, is deleted, tiny int 4, then I said that 0 is not deleted, 1 is deleted. So I used by default, okay? So when you come, let's click this chain, you will find that it is as defined. So I defined 0, which is by default, and then wrote this comment here to guide the user who will be using your database schema, okay? Then we have created us and updated both our datetime and then null. So ensure that you put that table properly, and then you come back to, you write all these functions, get single record the way it is, get record the way it is, referring to table suppliers, okay. Then after that, I created the controllers, okay. So in the controllers, you can see I created that controller, then listing all this list method. I created this, okay. So get record, then header title. So our list .blade.php here, you can see that I've used this variable get record, which is here. You can see which is here, get record, which is here. So that get record is what I'm using here, and I've used it as value. I've used for else. I think this is a list for, let me see, this is list for suppliers, yeah, right. So I've used for else, and when record is not there, you find you return no record, okay. So and I also created these buttons with these URLs as they are, you can see. So make sure that you copy these things the way it is, and then these are the fields which I've used, okay. So these fields which I've used are coming directly from the database which you have seen. So I've written this one. Let me just scroll so that you can see, okay. So ensure that you type this thing the way it is. You can pause your video so that you go step by step, okay. So I'll scroll slowly until you reach down. So these two buttons, you can see they are those ones, okay. So then this is the end, so make sure that list you type it properly, and then we have this sidebar. Okay, this is where now we are putting the supplier's details. So add this one to your sidebar. Sidebar is found right here in our layouts folder. So we have sidebar where we wrote all these things, staff, customers. So put add suppliers, and then you ensure that you put all these URLs the way it is. Okay, after doing that, we can close that. Then you come to list. Also, we are done with list. We are done with the list. Now you come to yeah, so that is the list. Then you come to edit, or let me do the add. So we have suppliers add. So this is the blade for adding the suppliers, as you can see. So make sure that you type this thing carefully. Yeah, the form actions, and this is the contents which are in the forms. Okay, yeah, so this is what, as you can see, this is what we have. Not so big, so this is what you need to type for the add. Okay, you can also enlarge again like that. You can scroll like this, so that is the end, across the end. You can scroll like that, that is the end. So that is about the add. Then edit is about the edit is this one. You can also do it like this. You can see this is edit page. So ensure that you type it properly. So this the form which you've used like this. Yeah, so when you come to the suppliers controller, you will get for the edit. So this is for the list, then this is for create supplier. Ensure that you type it properly. Okay, let me zoom in a bit so that you can see code properly. Okay, yeah, so something like this. So we have list, we have content suppliers, we have insert suppliers, this is create supplier, this is insert suppliers, inserting to the database. So these are the fields. Then we have edit suppliers, then we have update suppliers down here, then we have delete. So type this thing the way they are. Okay, then you save the file. After doing everything, then you shall have implemented that. Then we close the edit, we close this list we already, this is for medicine. Okay, so that makes it the way it is, so that when you come to add a medicine or a supplier, sorry, you fill in those details which are required, then you submit. So you will see supply is added successfully. You have 4 records. You can edit your record. Maybe you remove this and you update. So it is doing successfully. So all these things, if you delete, it will delete from the database like that. If you come here to refresh, to browse, you see the records which are there. Okay, let's just load. It's loading slowly. Don't know what could be the issue with my system today. Yep. So it is taking time to load. So as it is loading, you can check this. This is the controller. You can check it again, how it looks like. Ensure that everything is, we have the top, all these are properly written. Those are the imports, and then you come slowly by slowly, and you reach the delete supply function up here. And then this is how they have been written in the URL here. So ensure you are properly following what we are doing from the supplier. And then after that, this is the record. You can see this is one of the record that we've deleted. So if I change it to not deleted and come refresh this, it comes back, so that we have the 4 records. Okay, so that is how suppliers are implemented. So we want to see how we've done it, so that it can display here the supplier's name and not the ID, which I change this to supplier, and then so these are ID. You see, like this in your side it's an ID, but mine it is now displaying the name. So let's see how do we do that. So we come here at the medicine. This is the medicine model. Okay, ensure that you import the supplier's model up here, and then you write this function, which is get supplier's name, then returns this belongs to supplier's model. Okay, it is in the supplier's model which we are using this foreign key coming from the medicines model, and we are comparing this with the primary ID of the suppliers table. Okay, this suppliers table, we have the primary ID here. So ID 1, we get the name. So if you do that, you can say, you can do it like this. You can as well do it as equal to ID like this. It will still work. Okay, so if you refresh this, you can see that it is still working with that. So this is the function that you copy the way it is. You copy get supplier name, and you come to list. This is list which is coming from medicine. You can see here, and under there we have get the supplier. So the supplier, you say value get supplier name. You just write it like this, then you put this, then name. So if you want maybe email, if it is not name, you write email, then save it. If you refresh this, you will see supplier email, not name. But in our case, we need the name. So reason why I am writing here name, to reveal the name of the supplier. Okay, so that is the function, and with using the method belongs to. Okay, so that is what we've done so far. So in this tutorial, I also want us to put it in such a way that when we add new medicine, we simply pick the supplier name by the drop down here. Okay, so for us to do that, what we need to do is to we go to our so let's get to medicines controller. So in the medicine controllers, here is where we are creating our supplier. So we write a function that is getting supplier. So let's see in the suppliers model. In the suppliers model, where is the suppliers model? Okay, let me get the model direct suppliers model. We have it down here. So we have this function get record. So you see this is well written, so we can use this one. So when we come to this, we say get record. Okay, and so what do? We get this as get supplier. We can write it as get supplier like this, get suppliers like that. Okay, so we copy that, And when we come to our medicine function where we are adding, so let's see where we are creating. We can close that one to get, let us get this. So this is medicine. You can also close this one. So let me see, this is for adding medicine. Okay, so we have this place where we have the supplier name. Okay, so here we are going to use a different method. Okay, here we are going to use a different one. So we have this suppliers model. Let me just get this, let me just close this one, and then we have medicine controller. So we have get suppliers. So in the get suppliers, we are going to add this there. Okay, yeah, so here we are going to use let's just cross this one, and then we are going to use select. So let me put something like select. So select name, we have the supplier ID. Okay, and then we can say option select supplier, like that. Sorry, select supplier, and then we are going to use for each, we are going to select supplier. So we are going to use the for each group, whereby we have our variable we have already declared here as get suppliers as supplier. So we are going to say that we are going to use the option. So value is a supplier ID. Okay, and we use the name. Okay, then we end the for each, we end select. Yeah, so like that. Let's check if this is working. Let's check if that is working and see if that's going to work. Okay, so when it comes to medicine, like that, add medicine, we can see that the suppliers are now coming. They are now coming successfully. Okay, in a drop down. Something is wrong with my, I don't know what has happened to our, I'll check what has happened to the images. Let me check the medicine model, what has interfered with our, something has interfered with our path. Yeah, so this one should be medicines, the reason why those emails are not loading. Yeah, so the images are okay, and you can see that when we add new medicine, we can select the supplier. Okay, so when we are saving, now we need to save. Let me show you what we need to do. Yeah, so now when we are saving, because we already added here, you can see we are added here supplier ID. So let's do that and see. So when you come here and select like that, and maybe we can select our image like this, and yeah, so let's use the supplier Josephine and the submit. Yeah, so we can see, where is that Josephine? Where is it? The Josephine, the Josephine supplier Josephine is here. You can see, so it has come automatically without difficulty. Okay, so that is how we do it. That is how we finish that. I think in every sections or modules that we implemented, there is no part which is remaining. If there is part, you can leave a comment in the comment section so that I can know, so we can come to implement. Otherwise, in the our next section, we are going to implement our, we are going to put this is suppliers. So customers, we are done with customers, we are done with the medicines. So we are going to see how we are adding stock. Okay, thank you very much.